It's time for the Frangie Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, we welcome you in. Glad you're here for another week. Frangie, Carly, and La Selva with you. What a weekend in sports. I got loser Monday drama.
It's big time. Big time.
I'm not pleased with the committee.
What happened?
Well, the committee made a ruling. So,
was the committee 4 old fashions in when they made that ruling?
No. But the committee realized that, is it Lindenberg? Am I saying his name right?
Yeah.
Zaxel or Laxel?
Okay.
Yaxel.
Well,
Excuse me.
regrettably,
Yaxel Rose.
regrettably, the committee feels like if Lindenberg had been healthy, he'd have scored 50 in that game because nobody knew until we found out the last minute that Arizona brought the JV.
Right.
Who knew that was coming?
That was shocking.
Who was coming?
What a beatdown.
So I thought, well, God, that's great. Hayes' guy's hurt. I love this. I love it because I don't like Hayes. I mean, so the guy I don't like it. And then I got thinking, I probably got to go back and take my loss, JJ, because my guy got hurt. I can't laugh at Hayes' guy getting hurt. Well, by the way, I can laugh at it. Okay.
The ironic part is Hayes was not going to lose. I guarantee you tonight.
Hayes will be fine. Hayes will be fine. He's in good stuff. But anyway, so unfortunately now the 2 scoreboard.
Well, I am in last. I don't know that I'll be fine, but
But now the scoreboard now reads 1 loss for Frangie and La Selva.
Wow.
Okay? Yeah. I just thought about it. Joking aside, I said, I babied out because my guy got hurt. And I don't mind being a baby. I think being a baby is awesome. I think whining is awesome. I do. I love whining. I love being a baby. But then when I saw this, the other night, the guy played on one leg and made about 4 threes.
He was so clearly the best player on the floor.
He would have scored, not joking aside, he scored 11 anyway. He would have scored 25 points in that game. So injuries don't matter. You got to live with your injury. But so do I. So I'm not happy with the committee. So now we're down to La Selva, and I did go to Bono's. Okay, so it's not like I didn't go.
Oh yeah.
So now we both.
I think we were like, it was ancient history.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, a text message pops in.
I see this guy hurt. And I go, I'm too good a guy, but I felt guilty. But anyway, having said all that, now we're hoping. Now we can still hope that Hayes gets his first loss. But I think it's going to be one of us, JJ.
What did you think when he came back in the game?
I was shocked.
Yeah, me too. Because they were up by like 30 points.
I'm thinking, I want to win. Leave him on the bench is what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
But then he looked so bad that I'm like, maybe he might re-roll it. I don't want to
That'd have been okay too. That'd have been okay too. So
I'm still not convinced he's playing tonight.
Yeah.
I know they say he is, and he said he is, but I mean,
it'll be interesting to see
48 hours after spraining your MCL.
I think he'll play, but it'll be interesting to see how effective he is.
Right.
Yeah. By the way,
he's playing UConn.
Yeah,
this isn't. You know,
that's right. Yeah.
I mean,
Hurley's got a plan.
Right.
So the numbers, by the way, in case you're wondering, JJ and I both have 39 points. Hayes has 33 points. Hayes is behind, but he's got the best opportunity tonight. It's going to come down to Johnson versus Reed. You know that, don't you?
Yep.
It's going to Hayes will pass us tonight. I'm guessing.
If Yaxel plays,
Hazel,
even if Yaxel gives me what he gave me Saturday, even if it's just 11. I would think with Caravan as well,
and I'm
I'd be okay.
And I'm okay with the Caravan rolled ankle on the way to the gym. But I'm okay, just so you know. But I think.
But until that kid is actually on the floor,
right?
I'm counting on only having Alex Caravan tonight.
So, but that's where that's where Loser Monday stands, and so there's that. About the game itself and the games itself, I will tell you, and you, Hayes, you watch way more college basketball than probably JJ or I do, but I knew Michigan was good. And I've watched them a few times. I watched them dismantle Illinois earlier in the year. And I remember about midseason, and they beat Illinois by like 20-something when and Illinois is good.
They beat Gonzaga by like 40.
Yeah, and so correct.
Around that same time.
Yeah. And Auburn by 30-something. But then I forgot how good they were.
Yeah. I'm surprised that they did what they did to Arizona.
I am too. I am too.
Really surprised.
But
they look great.
That's the thing's a goddamn freight train.
Oh yeah.
I mean it really is. So certainly we'll certainly talk about the game tonight. The bottom line is I love this night. I mean, I hope the game's closer. I'm still annoyed my team's not in it. I still think my team might not beat Michigan, but would have beaten a lot of them. So, but it doesn't matter. They're not there. So
they would have killed Illinois. I mean, Illinois looked like crap. Like every time bringing the ball up, I'm like, really? Like
I was very surprised.
It?
I was very surprised by that.
Well, this is what I'd say about Illinois is and this is, I was really wrong on Arizona. I thought Arizona was going to be Michigan, but I did like UConn.
Nobody saw that game coming, though.
No one saw a blowout, but I thought Arizona would win the game.
Yeah.
But I liked UConn because of the coaching matchup.
Yeah.
I mean, the Illinois coach doesn't even know to start Stojakovic, who's like his second best player.
It is the second best
and
player.
he ended up playing like the rest of the game.
Anytime that guy goes to the bucket, he scores or gets fouled. And he should be playing 35 minutes a game. I mean, to me, that's if Florida had a kid like that Stojakovic kid and he did not start, I would lose my mind on a daily basis about it. And it's stuff like that. You think if that kid played for UConn, he'd be coming off the bench?
Right.
It's preposterous.
And it shows how good UConn is coached because they didn't have a turnover until like 5 minutes left in the game when the game was well out of hand.
Yeah.
Not one turnover in college basketball.
So we'll certainly get to the game tonight. It's been a fun matchup.
It is a fun matchup, but it's hard not to think that Michigan,
they're going to roll.
For all the respect I have for UConn and Hurley, boy, it's hard to see UConn staying close.
6.5 point.
I would take Michigan and give that all day long.
All kind of fun things coming up on the program today. We hit it toward the end of the show. I want to get into Travon Walker now. What's the ceiling? What can he really be? Will this be freeing for him a little bit? I got some thoughts on that. So a lot of talk about Travon Walker today. We're going to lead the program with that. I want to get to that. UNC hired Michael Malone to be their basketball coach. And I don't know if you know this or not, but I just looked into this. The baseball program is about to hire Joe Torre, okay, to go with Belichick and Malone. Apparently, college coaching doesn't matter to Bubba Cunningham. Okay, so
I don't even think Bubba Cunningham
shocked by this hiring.
I was too.
I was. You have to be kidding me! Shocked by this hiring.
Yeah,
and maybe he's great. I know Hacker loves him. Hacker was hoping to be the Magic coach, but it's college. What? I'm shocked by it.
Yeah, Jeff Goodman, who obviously has covered college basketball nationally for a very long time, tweeted this about an hour or so ago, and I completely agree with it. Billy wanted to wait until the Bulls season was over. You know, whether that's right or wrong, you have to admire him at least for having the integrity to want to stay even though their season's over. And Goodman tweeted that the North Carolina has a new athletic director.
It's not Bubba Cunningham anymore? It's not?
I don't think so. And the guy he says panicked. And after not getting Lloyd or May and just wasn't going to wait with the portal opening, was not going to wait another few days for Billy Donovan if he could get Michael Malone.
I didn't know any of that.
Yeah. I mean, this is just what one reporter is saying, but it makes sense.
Yeah. I will tell you, in a weird sort of way, I told you this before, and maybe what happened is exactly what you just said. In a weird sort of way, I never thought Donovan was going to be their coach. I told you that before. Now, with no rationale, and it might be just what you said, but he might have been their coach if the guy had waited, to your point, and I don't know that. But my gut just told me he wasn't going to be on their sideline. I can't explain why. I never could explain why. I told you that the whole time. I just couldn't. Part of it is I didn't want him to be, but I didn't think he was. So anyways, but we'll certainly talk about that today. We'll talk about Travon a little bit. Spring games go. What do you want to see from the Florida spring game? We got the rest of the week to talk about that, but I want to get to that today on the program as well. But all kind of fun stuff. Championship game tonight. A lot of good stuff to get to today on the program. Glad you are with us. We're going to start it though with the Duval County Scholar Athlete of the Week. We'll take a break. That's how we'll kick off the program on a Monday. Our Monday's always brought to you by The Best Bet. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Let's now welcome Jaguars legend and inaugural Pride of the Jaguars inductee, Tony Baselli.
1010XL.
David Lane here, and once again, I'm happy to share news of my successful back and knee surgeries at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Whatever it is that's bothering you, take it from me. Simply set an appointment today at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and let them help you get back to normal life. I'm certainly glad I did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Top salespeople don't rely on talent. They follow a system. At Sandler Sales Jacksonville Boot Camp, you'll learn how to control conversations, handle objections, and close with confidence. Matt Rocco with Sandler Sales here. We can help. There's a 2-day sales boot camp in Jacksonville, May 13th and 14th. We'll show you how to increase performance for that of your team. Call 904-646-1900. That's 904-646-1900 to reserve your seat today.
Make more birdies with pointers from the pros on Brunch with the Tour with Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
Tour news, tips, and inside info.
Teed up on Clearwater Irrigation and North Florida Medical Centers. Tuesday morning at 8:30.
Spring is here. Time to get your lawn ready before summer heat and bugs set in. Prosser here for Julington Creek Pest Control. They offer preventative chinch bug treatments, pre-emergent weed control, and granular fertilization, all with no contracts. This helps prevent problems before damage occurs, keeping lawns thicker, greener, and stronger. Call today to schedule your spring treatment. Julington Creek Pest Control. Our family serving yours since 1984.
Frangie here. If you're expecting a tax return this year, here's a smart way to use it. Invest in new tires from Big Chief Tire. It's one of the best things you can do for your car and your safety. I've been going to Big Chief for years because they do it right every time. Put that refund to good use and hit the road with confidence. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 today and let Big Chief take care of you. That's Big Chief Tire.
Jacksonville, Leon Searcy here, your lemon pepper guy. Locked in with Wingstop for Hoops Madness. The Final Four is here, and the move is simple. 30 wings for $30. Lemon pepper, classic, or mix them up. Get your order in now and pre-order so it's hot and ready right at tip-off. Visit wingstop.com or hit the app and lock in that 30 for 30 deal while it lasts this weekend at Wingstop. For the madness, 30 boneless or classic wings with up to 3 different flavors, only at Wingstop.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. Clayton, I know you're the head diamond buyer at Underwoods, and you travel to the markets to buy diamonds. Why don't you just look at an emailed list and have them send you the diamond?
Frank, there are a couple of reasons we go straight to the source when we're selecting the diamonds we want to put the Underwood name on. First, as an expert diamond buyer, I have to see a diamond before I can really judge its beauty versus the price it's being offered at. Second, when we're at the source, we have huge selections to choose our diamonds from, so we don't have to compromise the Underwood quality standard. The result is we control what goes into our diamond stock instead of allowing a diamond dealer to send us what he wants us to have. The bottom line is we're able to offer our customers carefully selected, beautiful diamonds that we're proud to have carry the Underwood name.
Underwoods, serving excellence since 1928 in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Springtime is the perfect time to get your home organized. Hey, this is Lauren Brooks, and I love our closets from Closets by Design. They create custom storage systems designed around how you actually live. From closets and garages to entertainment centers, laundry rooms, and storage for any space and budget. Make an appointment to tour their showroom on Phillips Highway and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off free installation and 18 months special financing. Schedule your free consultation at 904-878-9393 or find them online, closetsbydesign.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
All right, there's more chances this week to win yourself a seat in the $100,000 guaranteed tournament at Best Bet Jacksonville. From $120 satellites to $140 satellites. That's what's going on all week long. So head to the Best Bet Jacksonville location on Monument Road. Now, there's 3 great locations. St. Augustine is just off of I-95. That Orange Park location is on US 17. And, of course, Best Bet Jacksonville on Monument. So head there today. Always a Best Bet Monday around here. We certainly appreciate our friends from the Best Bet. We got a Duval County Scholar Athlete coming in just around the corner. We'll do that in a few minutes. But in the meantime, I want to at least tell you where I'm going to go. We're going to say hello to Jabari McMillan in a minute. But before we do that, I want to give you an idea of kind of my thoughts on this. I believe, Hayes, that this will be freeing. Travon Walker, I think Travon's a good player. He works hard. He's a good teammate. And these guys, and I love them for it, they reward guys who do what they're supposed to do. But I think Travon is always a guy that sort of struggled with the fact that he wasn't Aiden Hutchinson. So we're going to say Jabari McMillan. We're going to switch right over here, Jabari, and we're going to say hello to Jabari McMillan. But I do want to kind of get into that a little bit because I think it's interesting stuff, nonetheless. So we'll do that in a minute. First, though, it's this.
Hey, let's go! And now, Scholar Athlete of the Week. Brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234 on 1010XL.
It is our Duval County Scholar Athlete Week. It's Jabari McMillan from Atlantic Coast. Jabari, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How about y'all?
Good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Yes, sir.
You know, I would have known he's going to Valdosta State because I saw it on the sheet, but he's got the sweet lid there. They got that sweet Valdosta. Now, when did you get that? When you visited, when did you get that?
Like a week and a half before I saw it.
Pretty good, though.
Yes,
yeah, pretty good. So let's talk a little bit. Obviously, football and track and field. You run track, you play football. Let's talk about football for a little while. Tell me all about your football career, how special it's been playing at Atlantic Coast High.
My football career, it's been a great journey, like a long journey. Been playing since I was 5, 6. Always been small, so I had to compete, work harder than everybody else. You know, playing at AC, it really helped me because all the experienced coaches. So I got different type of play styles on offense and defense, special teams too, know how important that game is. And then at competitive level, like in practice, it's ran like a college. I went to Valdosta State practice, it's ran just like ours.
I'll be darned. That's perfect. That's perfect then.
Jabari, do you have a favorite game or a performance you can tell us about?
From both years or just this year?
Whichever.
Either, you pick.
Oh no, I had a couple good games.
I'll bet more than one, right?
Yeah, I'll probably say Nice or Reigns.
Tell me what happened. Tell me about the Reigns game. I want to know about Reigns. What'd you do? What'd you do in that game?
I picked off Timothy,
Ooh.
and I had a kick return. It ain't count, but it's on film.
It's on film. It really does. Talk a little bit about about your choice to go to Valdosta State. Where all did you consider? What are your goals when you get there?
I was considering Navy, New Haven, Albany was talking to me late, but it's just the bond I got with Coach Shake at Valdosta State, and then I know the receiver coach there too. He came to see me practice, but the bond, like Coach Shake, he showed more, like he wanted me more.
Okay, Jabari, do you know what you want to study in college?
Mechanical engineering.
Oh, great.
Why is that?
I just like building, and I'm good at using my hands and stuff.
There you go. What do you can play offense, defense? You played both in high school. What's the plan?
I'm played majority defense.
Okay, cornerback.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But you said the receiver coach came to see you. What if they let you play offense too? It'd be okay, wouldn't it?
I'd definitely be okay with it.
I'll slip out there and play a little bit of offense.
What'd you run in track?
The 4x1, and long jump, and 200.
How much did you enjoy that, being a track athlete?
I mean, it got me better with my speed, my form. It really helped football. Like, now that I know from 11th grade year, it translates good. It really helped.
Jabari, you're a good student. Tell me about why academics are important to you.
Academics are important because that comes first. If football don't work, I got to have a backup plan. Even though that's the main goal, make it big. But just in case that don't happen, I got to have something going for myself after that in the class.
What do you want to do for a career with mechanical engineering?
I really haven't got into that yet, but I do want to start a business. Like, I want to start a little business later.
Okay, very cool. All right, so when do you leave for Valdosta? What's the plan?
Sometime in June.
Okay.
Mid-June.
Excited?
Yes, sir.
Excited?
Yes.
I mean, you gotta be excited, don't you? So
it's hard to believe that high school's about over, right?
High school finna be over. It went fast too.
Yeah. You're involved in a lot of stuff other than just football and academics. What do you like about being involved in the community? And tell me about that a little bit.
The community, it's Jacksonville. It's like, it's a great place. People don't see it as how it is. See it as crime and stuff, but it's actually like when everybody come together, it's actually a great place, especially all the athletes and stuff. Like Factory Jats, they get together. CJ and BK, they get together, have like one-on-ones and getting better with kids.
I get it.
It's good for the community.
Well, it is a great place for all of us. Well, Jabari McMillan is a terrific athlete and a terrific student. He's on his way to Valdosta State. He's from Atlantic Coast High School, and he's our Duval County Scholar Athlete of the Week. Jabari, thanks for coming in, man. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Jabari's in here, and I'm telling you, I love the lid. It's got the Valdosta State hat. I love it very much. It's great to see Jabari McMillan here from Atlantic Coast High School. All right, let's get speaking of football. I'm going to get on Travon for a second. I just feel like it's freeing a little bit. He's been compared to Aiden Hutchinson forever, and Aiden has more sacks, and Travon's got to have more sacks. He's got to be a better exterior pass rusher. We all know that. He's going to play inside some, but it's almost like, and Travon's such a hard worker, he won't do this. He'll continue to grind and battle and be a good teammate and outwork everybody because that's who he is. But it's almost now you can exhale. Okay, I don't want to say you've made it. That's not my point. But you've made it to the next contract. That is my point. And now instead of everybody saying, well, he's not as good as Aiden Hutchinson and the first overall pick and he's got to do more of this, now I think you can just relax and focus on. Does that make sense? I mean, I just think this moment is freeing for him. And I think the ceiling is really high. I've never quit believing that, and I still do believe it.
Yeah, I think your points are really valid. I will say for Travon, I never got a sense that he was overly wrapped up in ever being the number one pick and pressure that came with that, or Aiden Hutchinson. But I do think there is some freedom in what you're saying. I do think that just knowing that he's going to be here, the uncertainty of how this business can be. He's been in the league long enough to see a lot of his friends that he played with get traded or cut or, just not work out in the league. So I don't think any of the exterior ever really bothered Travon. But I do think that knowing he is going to be here, that he is an integral part of this nucleus moving forward. Yes, I do think that frees his mind up somewhat. And I think his best football is ahead of him just because it was always going to be a rather lengthy process. I mean, this is somebody who wasn't even like third team all SEC at Georgia. I mean, great athlete, great traits, and great mindset. But it was always going to take him time to become a savvy, sophisticated edge rusher. I do think it's in there. I do think it will show up. And my bet is over the next 4 years, 3 of those years he'll have double-digit sacks. Again, if he stays healthy, and so I think it's a contract that ultimately will be viewed as a bargain for the Jaguars as we get a couple years down the road. And yes, I think it does certainly help him to know that he's going to be here and give him that peace of mind. But I never got a sense that he was bothered by a lot of players would be. I never really got that sense with Travon. I just think it's been a process because he's had to basically do something at the NFL level he was not asked to do in college. Aiden Hutchinson didn't have any of that. Aiden Hutchinson is the exact same player he was for the Michigan Wolverines. He's doing the exact same thing that was asked of him. It just wasn't like that for Travon. So, and again, he doesn't get the credit that he should get nationally for being one of the best run defenders at his position in the NFL, if not the best. And so I do think he'll get more credit for that. The sack numbers have to be better, but I think it's coming. I mean, again, this is just a guy who's 25. There's players in this draft that are 25.
See, that's the thing. And you made that point yesterday. I should have known that, but it kind of blew me away a little bit. He's 25 years old. And the other part of that, he's involved in his community. He owns a camp in his hometown in Georgia. He's respected by, and you know this, by everybody in that locker room. I mean, that's kind of who he is, and that's how people look at him. That's who he is, and that's how people look at him, and they really do, Hayes. It's weird how football works. I always say guys retire in their early 30s in football, and what do you do afterwards? Because an old football player is a young man. I've said it many times. Well, it works that way in leadership, too. All of a sudden, Josh Hines Allen is the obvious leader in that edge room. Has been and will be. But beyond that, I don't know that Smoot's going to be back. You don't know that I think their best pass rushers are certainly their developable pass rushers are Danny Strigo and BJ Green are young guys. At 25 years old, he's almost becoming an elder statesman, which is crazy at 25 years old. But I also think that makes you better too. Because he's a guy that'll wear, again, Josh Hines Allen is the leader of that pack. And if Eric Armstead, who plays inside, is not back, boy, how young is that group then? Devon Hamilton's still a relatively young player. So I think there's some responsibility because you're older. I think there's some freeing because you don't have to worry about the contract or people saying this and that. I think this is such a good coaching staff. And Anthony Campanile and his group are so good defensively that they're going to find the best way to use him. I do think you'll see him as a pass rusher inside some. For the longest time, I wondered if he was a tackle. I really did. He really is more of a 4-3 big end, the same position Calais Campbell played. But I couldn't help but wonder if he's a tackle. But I think the sacks are coming for two reasons. Hayes, number one, he's going to get better, and he works hard, and you get better, and you develop pass rush moves and all that. But I do think they will be a better exterior pass rushing team because, number one, they're going to add somebody. I believe that. If not, Strigo and Green will be better than they were. I think they'll cover better. There's no doubt in my mind they're going to be better in the secondary. There's no doubt. I mean, with all due respect to Greg Newsome was pretty much a full-time starter after the Tyson Campbell deal, and Greg Newsome's a pretty average player. Okay, so in my mind, Buster Brown will be better. Jarian Jones has another full year under his belt. Jordan Lewis, if he's healthy, was already a good player. I believe in all the Travis Hunter, in all my heart, I believe is going to be a really, really, really good football player if he plays there. So they're going to cover better. They're going to have better people to spell them, so you don't have to play as many snaps. So all the stuff around Travon Walker stands to make him better. In addition to the fact that it's freeing, and I do think sometimes guys get better when they're asked to lead. There's something about, not just in football or sports, there's something about when you go from being one of the, not followers, that's the wrong word, but when you go from the middle of the pack in terms of the emotions and leadership qualities expected from you to where you're one of the elder statesmen, there's a sense of a responsibility and accountability that makes you better. Does that make sense? I think that happens in the world. I think you can go to the convenience store and when the worker behind the counter becomes the assistant manager and the assistant manager becomes the manager, they become better at their job because there's an accountability that mandates that. And I think all that's in play with Travon. I maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm overthinking this. But boy, I'm excited about 40. I can tell you this, when I saw that story the other day, I was really excited about it. I was really, because I wasn't sure. I thought they'd extend him, but I wasn't sure how and when. Trevor, you knew they're extending. Okay, you know, there's some players they're going to extend. Travis Etienne, they were not going to. You know, I thought they should have extended Travon, but I thought they probably would, right? But I wasn't convinced. Does that make sense? I wasn't convinced they were. So it was big news for me. I've been excited about it since. I mean that very sincerely.
I'm still surprised the numbers were as low as they were.
And they were affordable.
I mean, yeah, I still think the Jaguars really got an incredible bargain. Again, just to compare the contracts, Hutchinson, 4 years, $180 million, $141 million guaranteed. Travon Walker, 4 years, $110 million, $77 million guaranteed. I do not think there'll be that big of a difference between those two players over the next 3 years. Hutchinson will probably be better. I'm not arguing that, but I don't think it'll be some stratospheric gulf between the two. And there's already things Travon does better now than Aiden Hutchinson will ever do in terms of being a run defender.
He's more physical. He's a more physical player.
And so I honestly, I think an extension is always just a bet on the player. And I think this is going to be a bet the Jaguars are going to, win handsomely, because I think they're putting their trust into an athlete that is worthy of that and is only going to get better as he does hit his year 25 season, year 26 season, year 27 season, and year 28 season. These next 4 years for Travon Walker, I think he's going to be a terror in the NFL.
So it'll be fun to see what winds up happening. Final thought on this. Do you expect him to rush in toward the end of the year when they were in nickel? He moved inside, and Dennis Gardeck became the rush end. Now, Dennis Gardeck's a strong side linebacker, but I can tell you, I know you know this, and I can tell you that one of the things they liked best about him when he was in Arizona, and one of the reasons they went and got him, is they liked him as a pass rusher. I mean, he's a terror, and he plays hard, and he's a wild man and a crazy man. They like all that too. But as a pass rusher, I get a hunch that Travon in nickel is going to be an inside pass rusher, don't you?
Yeah, and again,
it worked last year.
This is a novice saying this. It'll be interesting to hear Liam Cohen, Anthony Campanile talk about this. But we see it with other defenses, with other elite defensive linemen, where the coordinator basically says, pick your spot. Pick where you want to rush from. Now, obviously, you got two guys in Hines Allen and Walker. So can you do that with both? I mean, honestly, they should get to a system if they can, if their scheme allows for it. And I don't know that it does. Again, I don't know near, obviously, the levels of football that Anthony Campanile and Liam Cohen know. So it may not work in the constraints of how they like to coach football. But I'd love to see it where Hines Allen and Walker have some freedom to basically attack the weak points of an offensive line, which is what we've seen a multitude of NFL teams do with their star rusher. And so, yes, I would like to see him moved around. I'd like to see Hines Allen moved around. I just think it creates a problem for the opponent's offensive line because you just don't know where the standout is going to be. And in the Jags cases, they have two guys that have a case to be described as a standout rusher. So I do hope it's a little bit more unpredictable than just they both play on the edge at all times. And I do think that what they tapped into at the end of last year will be further expounded upon, particularly for Travon. Again, I mean, Liam Cohen's talking about Aaron Donald. I mean, that was the player that he brought up when talking about Travon Walker, which, again, doesn't make sense. You wouldn't talk about a corner and then reference a safety and talking about that corner. Well, it's sort of the same thing here. Why would you bring up the greatest defensive tackle that we've seen in the last 15 years when you're talking about Travon Walker, who has here traditionally been at end? So I do think it'll happen, but I think it should happen for Hines Allen as well. They should always have one of those two. If it's more than 6 yards to the first down, I almost think they should always have one of those two rushing from the tackle position.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. We'll take a break. Let's talk some hoops after this. The big one is tonight. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
I'm Holt Harrell. I was talking to someone the other day, and they were shocked that some lawyers get more from a case than their own client. After paying bills and costs, if we are supposed to get more than a client, we won't. That's the Harrell and Harrell promise. When we say that we treat our clients like family, we mean it. If you've been in an accident, call us today. 251-1111. Harrell and Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
April showers bring flowers. They also bring septic problems. And that's not the kind of spring surprise you want in your yard. Or worse, in your shower. Before a small issue turns into a big, messy situation, call Duck Duck Rooter. During April showers, Septic Powers promotion. Schedule a septic tank pump out at regular price, and Duck Duck Rooter will include a main sewer line camera inspection for an additional $99. See what's going on underground before you smell it. When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Post-game Monday on 1010XL is served by Dandy Foods, making quality fresh sandwiches since 1956.
When you're hungry, go big, and more importantly, go to Daly's, where they got anything and everything to tantalize your taste buds and fill you up. At Daly's, our barbecue beef brisket sandwich is slow smoked to perfection, tender, juicy, and full of bold flavor. It's the kind of sandwich that truly satisfies. Try the barbecue brisket sandwich at Daly's. Meanwhile, some favorites never go out of style. The Duval sub at Daly's is stacked, loaded, and made with the bold flavor you want in every bite. Fresh ingredients, big taste. It's a local favorite. Grab the Duval sub today at Daly's. Or maybe you just want a delicious chicken sandwich. Some choices just work. The chicken sandwich at Daly's is crispy on the outside, it's juicy on the inside, and it is full of flavor. Perfect for lunch, perfect for dinner, perfect anytime hunger hits. So grab the chicken sandwich today at Daly's. Daly's is made fresh, it's made local, and Daly's is built for big appetites. I'll see you there today.
Frank Frangie here for my friend and insurance agent, Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
Getting married? Celebrating an anniversary? Celebrate your love with new wedding bands and save up to $10,000 right now at Beard's Diamonds. Now through April 19th, buy one wedding band, get a second one free. It's Beard's most popular offer ever. You both get new wedding bands, but you only pay for one. Gold, platinum, titanium, all wedding bands included in this springtime event. Now through April 19th. Buy one, get one free. Only at Beard's at the St. John's Town Center.
Frank Frangie here for Coil Fencing. Since 1927, Jacksonville has trusted Coil Fencing to protect what matters. And I trust them too. From tough chain link to your commercial project to sleek aluminum fencing your HOA will love, Coil does it all. Did you know that Coil can also install, service, and maintain those automatic gates that help protect your neighborhood or business? To schedule a complimentary consultation, visit CoilJacks.com. That's C-O-Y-L-E, Jacks.com. Coil Fencing, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Hey, David again with Royal Pest Services. Termites, chinch bugs, roaches. It's their time of year to shine. Preventative maintenance is a heck of a lot cheaper than treating an active infestation. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule your free estimate.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
The Best Bet $100,000 guarantee is this week with flights A through D, April 10th and 11th at noon, man, oh man, and 6 p.m. Head to the Best Bet today. 3 great locations. Best Bet Jacksonville's on Monument. Best Bet Orange Park's on US 17 in Orange Park. And Best Bet St. Augustine is right when you get into St. Augustine on I-95. You can see it from the highway. You want to have a great time. Nobody does a better job than my friends at the Best Bet. Proud to have them sponsors of our Monday. Always a Best Bet Monday around here. I will tell you this. If you think about it, this whole Dusty May thing, Dusty May didn't play college basketball. Did you know that? Dusty May was a man.
That is hard to believe.
He was a manager at Indiana. He was one of the managers, and
under the general.
Correct. And then in all of a sudden, and he's probably the least known of all these coaches. You know, everybody knows Hurley. Yeah, I mean, there's nobody that doesn't know Hurley. Obviously, because Tommy Lloyd was with Few so long that he was up for the North Carolina job, so everybody knows him. Underwood wasn't a well-known guy, but he was the story because he was an old guy. You know, he was he was the Signetti of the basketball world. Nobody even talks about Dusty May. Have you ever noticed that?
Which is really surprising since he's been to a Final Four with Florida,
right?
Atlantic.
Yeah, right. But correct. But nobody even talks about it. But if you notice that, there's no special feature. Yeah. Nobody did a feature on the Dusty May story and Dusty May's family, and he's just a normal kind of looks like a normal looking guy that just got hired as a pharmaceutical rep, doesn't he? He looks like that. Isn't that what he looks like? You know, he's going to come in here and he's going to sell. So he's going to go meet with the doctor. And the doctor's leaving at noon, so he's got to go in there at 11 o'clock and meet with the doctor. And the receptionist says he's got to wait a little bit because he's talking to a guy right now about a bad elbow. But if you wait a little bit, you can go in there and you can sell your pharmaceuticals to him. That's who Dusty May looks like. And he's about to win the national championship of college basketball. It's in a school, by the way, that had not done so well at basketball other than the years they do well. Now, stay with me on that. Obviously, Glenn Rice and company won the national championship in '89. Obviously, the Fab Five, it was cool they were there, by the way. See, they did that alternate broadcast. The Fab Five was magnificent. But Hayes, when they're not, Michigan's not a basketball program that's good all the time and great sometimes. They're a basketball program that's mediocre most of the time and great sometimes. Juwan Howard was a disaster, and he was one of the Fab Five, and he was there. So it's amazing how quickly he's done this and what a great coach he is, and nobody talks about the guy.
Yeah, it's all good. I think Michigan sort of came out of nowhere this year a little bit for being as dominant as they became. And so I think that added to it a bit. Purdue was sort of supposed to be the Big Ten juggernaut this year. They were preseason number 1. They had the power forward and point guard returning, and so everybody thought the Boilermakers were going to be the team to beat in the Big Ten. And, and so it took some time for Michigan to ascend to that level. But, I mean, it's impossible to ignore how complete this team is. And, I mean, again, what they did to Arizona the other night was the score doesn't reflect how badly they pummeled the Wildcats, who I think have an absolute elite team. So yeah, what Dusty May has done there is incredible. And it really is funny that he was an assistant under Mike White. Not that Mike White isn't a decent coach,
right?
But it looks like Dusty May could certainly be headed to being one of the best of this current generation. College basketball really seems like it's going through this massive change in terms of old guard coaching versus the new school. And, certainly Todd Golden has established himself in the new school. John Shire, I would say, has established himself not to the level of a May or Golden, but certainly he has done a nice job at Duke until he gets to the tournament and collapses. But he still is certainly part of the next wave of what appears to be elite coaches in college basketball. Hurley obviously is the top of the mountain. Even if he loses by 25 tonight, he's the best coach in college basketball. But yeah, I mean, Dusty May is 40 minutes of basketball away tonight from being the next new star. And again, he constructed this team it required some pretty savvy scouting. This was not, hey, let me just go get 4 of the best 7 players in the portal and plug them in. You see the backstories of some of their stars, and it's not like, they were dominating where they were or, at massive schools. We talked about Yaxel Lindenborg is from UAB. I want to say Mara, who was fantastic against Arizona, was like an afterthought at UCLA. So, he really has done a nice job of showing how he can, identify guys that maybe aren't as obvious. So I would expect Michigan to be absolutely a contender every year that Dusty May is there.
And this is the world we're in, okay? Lindenberg was at UAB. Morez Johnson was at Illinois. Mara was at UCLA. Elliott Cato was at North Carolina. Burnett was at Texas Tech and Alabama. This is his 3rd school. Roddy Gale, the other senior guard, was at Ohio State, now at Michigan. Other than Trey McKinney, who's a really good freshman, their top 7 or 8 players are not at their first school. That's the world now, buddy. Maybe it's not the world at Duke, but other than Duke, that's the life we live. And, I mean, Florida won a national championship last year with 4 of their starters did not begin their careers at Florida. The same thing with 1 or 2 of their top reserves. Michigan's going to win the national championship, I think, tonight. And 4 of their starters did not start their careers at Michigan. And it's interesting, Dusty May knew all about that. I mean, he played when he was at FAU. They played UAB, So and by the way, he's a voracious scouter. He's scouting one game before. Did you see that?
I saw that. I thought it was interesting because he got criticized for it.
Yeah.
I think it was more Kenny Smith that was like, I don't know that you can do that right before a game. First off,
well, apparently you can.
Yeah, apparently you can. But the other thing, even when he was saying it, I was like, well, shame on Arizona. Like, if you need something else at this point, like an hour before tip-off of the national semifinal to get you fired up, then you probably were going to come out flat anyway.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, look, he got a good look at UConn and then went out. And I mean, that was probably the most impressive game of any team. We've seen some really impressive lopsided wins. I don't know that we've seen anything that compared to what Michigan did to Arizona. Again, Michigan held Arizona to 5 assists, and Arizona had 14 turnovers. I mean, think about that. The Arizona Wildcats, who dominated the Big 12 with Houston and Iowa State and Kansas and BYU and all those, and Texas Tech, Arizona had 5 assists and 14 turnovers.
And I will tell you, not only did the numbers, if you watched that game, if you watched Michigan-Arizona, honest to goodness, it looked like you're a high school team playing a JV team.
Absolutely.
And so
it was shocking.
It really was shocking. So, but it's an amazing, this team's an amazing story, and it really is. And congratulations to Dusty May in the Michigan team. We'll take a break. Hayes has headlines after this. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
The NBA is on 1010XL.
It's pedal to the metal towards the playoffs, and the Magic look to bring the spark against their Motor City foes in the Pistons for a duel that could have first-round implications.
Orlando Magic, Detroit Pistons, tonight at 7 on 1010 AM.
Get ready for spring turkey season at Green Acres Sporting Goods. Find shotguns trusted in the field from Browning, Beretta, and Benelli. Plus, the newest bows are ready to test shoot from Hoyt and Matthews. For over 55 years, Green Acres Sporting Goods has helped Northeast Florida hunters gear up with confidence. Stop by Green Acres today at the corner of Normandy and Hammond Boulevard or shop online anytime at greenacresporting.com.
You've probably heard the saying, it's not how hard you get hit, it's whether or not you get back up. Well, I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and I have a saying of my own. If you get hit with a personal injury or wrongful death, hit back and fight to make them pay. At Hastings Injury Law, we have the experience you want if you or a loved one suffer a car or trucking accident or wrongful death. Just call 904-HIT-BACK and we'll help you get up and hit back. Office is Jacksonville.
Who's got the game to tame the challenging terrain of Augusta National?
Scheffler outshines them all at Augusta.
Listen for 1010XL Masters updates, pitched by TopDressing.com and LiveForeverGolf.com.
Are you an experienced automotive technician and tired of working for employers who put profit over people? Then come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road and get trained on how to diagnose and rebuild today's complex transmissions. See how we're different. Get traction on your career and come to Action.
Equal opportunity employer.
Hello, I'm Ed Jackson, president of Ned Jackson Income Tax. Ned Jackson Income Tax has been preparing tax returns in Jacksonville for over 80 years. Our tax preparers at Ned Jackson Income Tax have years of knowledge and experience to help you get your highest possible tax refund and are fully trained on all IRS updates, including the One Big Beautiful Bill. Visit one of Ned Jackson's 4 locations, including our downtown office at 255 North Liberty Street. That's Ned Jackson Income Tax, 356-0349.
Beat the spring cleaning rush and call Zero Res. Hey, Hicken here. Step into a fresher, cleaner home this spring with Zero Res. You might think because you mop off and your floors are clean, but they're actually collecting dirt not obvious to the eye. After a while, the hardwood or tile or LVP looks dull. This is where Zero Res can help. This month, 20% off all hard floor cleaning. 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $135. Call 287-5727 or go online at ZeroResJacksonville.com. Make sure to ask for the 1010XL special.
Zero Res.
New course alert. The golf club at Southampton will host this year's Coastal Equipment Guggen Open, Monday, April 27th. For a chance for you and a partner to play, text Guggen to the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010. Score a hole-in-one and win an Atlantic Infinity QX80. Enjoy a Chick-fil-A breakfast and a Dandy Foods lunch. Check out the latest big boy toys from Ride Now Power Sports. Thanks to our sponsors, Taco Lou, Lift Power, Instant Keys, and Southern Oak Insurance.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Tell me if this is you, because it's definitely me. I go to bed thinking, tomorrow morning, I'm going to wake up early, jump in that ice bath I just bought, have a good breakfast, go for a morning walk, and order a veggie for my side instead of fries. Then the morning arrives. I press snooze, skip everything else I planned because I'll do it tomorrow. But that's the Awaken 180 difference. Tomorrow is today. It's so easy. You want to do it. Your coach will be there to help you do it. You won't want to let her down. Accountability, ease, feeling great. That's the Awaken 180 difference. Now you can download an app, Google a weight loss plan, or buy the latest gadget. But who actually helps you follow through when you couldn't do it before? I lost 40 pounds with Awaken 180, and it was easy. No meds. I couldn't lose 5 pounds in a month on my own. Awaken 180 works, and it continues to work because it's set up to not let you fail. Succeed like we did at Awaken180weightloss.com.
XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round.
afternoon. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell and Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank Frangie is here, as is JJ LaSelva. I am Hayes Carline. Thank you to our friends at Harrell and Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. Frank, we've been talking about Travon Walker. Let's hear from the recently re-signed to a massive $110 million extension, Travon Walker. Travon did a Zoom with reporters on Saturday, was asked many things, but we're going to focus on a couple. This was Travon Walker talking about his exit interview with Liam Cohen and what the head coach wanted him to work on.
Man, it's just like taking my game to another level. Obviously, he's seen Aaron Donald. He coached, helped. He was on the team with Aaron Donald or whatever. So it just kind of helped put things in perspective for me to be able to just click it to a different type of mindset from how I was going throughout the year or whatever. And I feel like it really dawned on me that it's just time to ramp things up, take it to the next level.
Yeah, he's ready. This dude's ready. I think they're ready. Again, I said it a bunch last segment. I won't belabor it. This is a very good move. This is a guy who fits what they are. Jacoby Myers fits what they are. Tough, physical, wants to play. I mean, he fits what they are. This guy fits what they are. Brenton Strange fits what they are. I think Travon Walker is that and more.
Absolutely. Travon Walker also talked about what he's emphasizing with his game this offseason.
Number one, my main thing was just working on getting healthy, and then it's just fine-tuning those little small details within my hands, eye coordination, things of that nature. Just trying to keep my twitch as far as my strength, wrist mobility, working on a lot of things, but it's basically just kind of ironing out some small details. You know, the further you get in your career, like it gets harder to, I wouldn't say it gets harder to continuously elevate. It's just like you got to find those little small little details within your game and continuously work those things.
It's hard to use your hands and learn to use your hands when your hands broke half the season or whatever it was. Look, let me say this now. I'm very excited about this, and I'll stand by that. I feel that very passionately. But his pass rush moves have to get better. He has to be a more dominant pass rush, and he would tell you that. But the next step, he's right. Stay healthy, get healthy. But I would think improve and develop pass rushing moves. Hayes would be the next thing for Travon.
Let's get to around the NFL. New York Giants standout defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence has requested a trade.
Yeah.
The 28-year-old Lawrence has 30.5 career sacks and has been named a second-team All-Pro selection twice. Should James Gladstone be calling New York?
What do you have a better feel for this than me? What does he fetch?
It'd be a lot. It's. I mean, this is a 28-year-old premier defensive tackle, so I would think you're starting at, a 1 and more to start with. So I think it's going to be difficult for the Jaguars unless Lawrence's trade post-draft. But if the Giants are looking to move him in the next couple of weeks before we get to the draft, I think it'd be tough to put a package together that would be better than anything else New York would be receiving.
And he's not a 3 technique. He's 6 feet tall. He's 350 almost. He's Devon Hamilton. I think what the Jags need is that 3 technique more than the 2-gap nose guard, because I think they have that in Devon. So I probably wouldn't roll the dice there.
Let's get to college basketball. National title game tonight. Michigan, a 6.5-point favorite over UConn. Tip-off at 8:50.
Yeah, it's going to be. Listen, I think Michigan's going to win. UConn's got a little fight to them now. They've been there. They know how to. There is something about a winning culture. I do think that's real. I mean, no, despite how they had to come back and beat Duke, they did do it. And they handled what I think is a good Illinois team. So, and listen, this is the 3rd title game in the last 4 years. Who does that? I mean, who goes to 3 champion? There's 300+ teams. Who makes the final 2 3 times in 4 years? It's almost unheard of.
This will be their 7th title, by the way. Since 99.
It's wild.
7th.
To me, they're kind of
with
like
3 different coaches.
Yeah, to me, they're almost like the Miami Hurricanes football team. If you had this exact same thing happen at a basketball program.
Yeah, that's right. I agree.
I mean,
it's not just one guy who's been there for 50 years.
The Miami Hurricanes football program at that era was flashier than UConn. but the results are the same.
Yeah, well,
they've done it with 3 different coaches.
Right.
I mean, they do it in improbable ways,
right.
and they do it largely because they're just tougher than you are.
And that's the mentality. So, given all of that, I still don't think they're going to win.
I don't either.
But I think
you wouldn't be shocked if they did.
It'd be worth watching.
I actually will be kind of shocked.
Well, yeah,
and I liked UConn to beat Illinois, but I just think at some point the Jimmies and Joes are just so tilted towards Michigan has so many ways they can beat UConn. UConn needs like everything to go right, I think, to stay close.
Yeah,
and I'm sure they'll have a good plan. And to your point, they probably won't be as nervous as maybe Michigan will be because they know that they play for a school that's routinely won the national title. But I think it's going to be a little bit of a rout, but we'll see.
Yeah,
Let's
cue the cliche here. I apologize, but boy, the start of this one's important because if Connecticut gets out, then they hang around. If Michigan led Arizona 10-1. That happens again, forget about it.
Yeah, let's talk about how the 2 teams arrived here. We'll look at Saturday's semifinals. Michigan destroyed Arizona 91-73 despite losing Yaxel Lindenborg to an ankle and knee injury early in the first half. The Wolverines' defense just overwhelmed Arizona, holding the Wildcats to 5 assists and 14 turnovers. That's unheard of.
Yeah, it really is unheard of. And I will tell you, to that end, I don't know that they can play that well again. I do think UConn's got a veteran backcourt. They take better care of the ball. I do think they have a better backcourt. By the way, one thing I will tell you, it's kind of a shame, once again, that Duke didn't get there because Duke beat Michigan. I mean, they'd at least they'd be playing a team that had beaten them.
Yeah, good point. UConn holds off Illinois 71-62. The Huskies' defense was phenomenal. It was sort of a tale of the same game.
Yeah.
They held Illinois to a 34% shooting night with just 3 assists.
Yeah, and I will say that.
3 assists.
3 assists. Yeah, 3 assists.
For a team that arguably had the best offense in college basketball.
I thought Michigan beat Arizona because they felt like they were just way better. I thought UConn beat Illinois because they were way tougher. I don't know that UConn's got better players than Illinois, better NBA prospects than Illinois, but they were tougher. Michigan just got better guys.
Yeah. Loser Monday update.
Oh, here we go.
It will be decided tonight. I guess it could end in a tie, and then we'd have to figure that out. But
has that never happened before?
We've had not often.
There's playoffs. We've had a play. We've had a playoff.
We've had to do. It's usually something like we just pick an NBA game the next night,
right,
and
I like that.
Let you guys just go at it. So, but anyway, here is the update. JJ and Frank lead with 39 points. They each have one guy going tonight. Frank has Taurus Reed from UConn. JJ has Morez Johnson from Michigan. I am in last place. I have 33 points. I have Alex Caravan, and then hopefully have Yaxel Lindenborg,
relapse,
who is fighting through injury.
You know what? You can't listen. You can't damage the guy's NBA chances.
It's Mark.
You can't run him out there. You can't run him out there if he's hurt. I mean, do you care about the kid or do you care about yourself? That's my question.
Yeah, I did not like hearing him tell Seth Davis that my agent and my mom didn't want me to play.
Get him out of there. Come on, great. Dusty, man.
Well, Yaxel, I need you to play. I need you to give me 6 points
Here's what I think.
Always listen to your mom.
Can I tell you what I think? I think Lindenberg shouldn't play. But I don't think that's fair to Michigan, so I think Caravan should agree not to play too. And that's my recommendation.
There we go. North Carolina hires former Denver Nuggets coach Michael Malone as its next basketball coach. Malone coached Denver for 10 years, led the Nuggets to the world title in 2023, but was fired last April.
I'm gonna leave the next segment with that and my thoughts on that, so I won't get too far ahead of it. But I am absolutely shocked at this hire, and I am as shocked as I've been. And God bless you, UNC. And by the way, he's a very good basketball coach. But that's very good coach.
I mean, he just won an NBA title.
Right. He's a very good coach. They've got a football coach in North Carolina who once upon a time was a very good coach. So I'm puzzled by this one. I'll say that.
I was really surprised by it as well, and we'll see how it works out for the Tar Heels. Let's get to the PGA Tour. J.J. Spaun wins the Texas Open at 17 under. The reigning U.S. Open champ fired a 5 under 67 to win by a stroke. Spaun earned $1.7 million with the victory.
Did you see McIntyre's second shot on 18? Whew. I mean, he makes the eagle on 17, hits a great drive on 18, a long par 5, and then he did what we would do. I mean, he duck hooked. Did you see it, JJ?
I didn't.
You were watching Hayes? He duck hooked it so bad, it's like he's playing an Muni in Duval. I mean, I thought,
and
wow.
He's won before,
right.
So it's
he's
not
won
like
a couple
he's...
times, but it was just he needed one shot, one good shot. He still needed to get a chip and a putt for birdie to send into a playoff. But I thought he was going to. He makes an eagle on 17. He hits this great drive on 18 down. It's a long par 5,
right.
But because no one was getting there. But I thought he was gonna. And then it's this awful duck hook. I was shocked watching it. I really was.
I had already, my brother was watching it at Easter, and I had already counted him out.
Yeah.
By the time J.J. Spaun finished, there was one other guy who I thought could have a chance, but he had to eagle on 18. He didn't.
That was Putnam.
And I stopped watching because I'm like, well, he's not going to make up 3 strokes.
Yeah. Well,
another thing that was interesting
made the eagle, though,
is Ludwig Oberg again puts himself in position
fell out
to win and then just can't get
Sunday,
it going on Sunday, particularly on the final 9. So something to bear in mind. He's so close to going. It looks like going on some great run, but he's got to get a little bit better in terms of finishing
his
these
driving can be. That's the worst part of his game.
Yeah. Let's get to Major League Baseball. The Giants are just 3-7, 1-6 at home. They're in last place in the NL West. They're already 4.5 games back of the Dodgers. I know it's really early, but did they make a huge mistake in hiring a college coach?
Well, again, first of all, when you're where I am, when you're one of the good teams, you don't pay as much attention to the bad teams. Okay?
I knew this was
We
coming.
good teams don't pay attention to the bad teams. But since you're bringing up one of the bad teams, it's probably early for that. I do think this, though. Tony Vitello is not just a college coach. It's a great question. I'm glad you brought it up in notes and headlines. It's a great question because you do something very unorthodox, and then it looks bad. I think he's got such a personality, such a at times polarizing personality, that veteran players have to get used to him. When Buster Posey hired Tony Vitello, it wasn't for 1 year. It was for a number of years. I think he's going to be good. I think he's a good baseball guy.
Bad roster.
Yeah, bad roster and an older roster.
Yeah.
And you have to learn to connect with younger people. So it's a great question, Hayes. I think in time he will be good, but it could be a tough go.
Let's talk college baseball. The Gators drop a home series to Ole Miss. Florida State takes 2 of 3 at number 10 Virginia. The Noles up to number 5 in the country. UNF takes 2 of 3 at home from Queens to improve to 10-2 in ASUN play. And JU wins its series over visiting Stetson.
Let's start with JU and UNF. Boy, UNF's good. Man, have they played well. They won yet another series. Tip of the cap to Coach Merck and that team. He has really built something over there. They're first place in the ASUN, the Graphite Division. They're really good. Good for JU. They found a little something with that win against Florida. So both those teams won great division, important tournament weekends. FSU, I watched a little bit of that last night. Carl Ravitch, even though it was ACC Network, they had the A team there because it was FSU Virginia, and it was a good game. FSU's bouncing back a little bit. They lost a really good player, and they're having to overcome that. So that's a great win, great series win for the Noles. The Gators took a 2-0 lead to the 9th. And they gave the ball to Reitenauer, they would have won the series. Ole Miss didn't touch them for 8 innings, and then hung a 5. Did you see that? And hung a 5 spot in the 9th. It was 2-0. Florida leads the nation in shutouts, and had shut them out the night before, and they brought in this closer who throws 102, and Ole Miss erupted for 5 runs. That loss will stay with them now. That was a tough loss for the Gators. They play Florida State tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's right. We'll get you out with today's musical note. On this date, back in 1963, the Kingsmen record Louie Louie. The song is a cover as Richard Berry wrote and recorded Louie Louie back in 1956. However, the Kingsmen version has become one of the most iconic songs in rock and roll history. The song spent 16 weeks in the top 100, peaked at number 2, and sold over 1 million copies. And if you're a fan of Animal House,
did you watch Animal House?
Certainly remember Louie Louie.
If you didn't drop Animal House, I was going to help you on that. But if you watched Animal House, which still might be the funniest movie ever, movie ever. If you watch Animal House, you know this song for sure. Well done as always.
Thank you.
Hour 2's next. Stay with us.
Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
I know what you're trying to do.
1010XL.
I'm trying to free your mind, but I can only show you the door. You're the one that has to walk through it.
Free your mind.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be a 9-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award. Well, it's earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness, all part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. Now, look, I've been buying my cars from Nimnick forever. That is a true story. I started in 1982 buying my cars from Billy Nimnick Jr., God rest his soul. He taught me how to buy a car, and I've been doing it ever since. I trust my friends at Nimnick. They care about the community. They care about their customers. They do it right. They've supported our charity, Walk-Off Charity, so many times. I really do appreciate that. If you want to buy a car, you want to be treated right, not just when you buy the car, but after the sale as well. Well, that's what they do. They care about their customers. They care about this community, and they care about treating you right. So who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? That answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnick. Visit their showroom off Cassett or go to nimnickchevy.com. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Ready to dance? Right now on Hard Rock Bet, new customers get paid double winnings on your first 10 bets. And we'll keep you dancing all tourney with 2 profit boosts for every day of hoops. That's right. All customers can get a parlay profit boost and a live bet profit boost from now till they cut down the nets. Double winnings, daily dancing boosts, only on Hard Rock Bet.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Get out of the city and into the woods and the water.
Keep on working it.
On the Nimnick Outdoors Show, Captain Kevin and Captain Kirk join Jeff Lageman.
I am shooting one today.
Get hooked Saturday morning from 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
Some auto shops call it an inspection and flag any little thing. That's called a wallet flush. At AA Automotive, they don't play that game. They fix only what needs fixing. AA Automotive on Richard Street. Boring name, awesome service, and no wallet flush.
Here's hoping for a Raise the Roof football season. And here's knowing Next Gen Roofing is up for any job. Game day or storm season, you need a team you can trust. And you know what? You don't need a glitzy roofing company. No shortcuts, no gimmicks, no nonsense. Solid roofs at competitive prices and a commitment to the First Coast community. Right now, save up to $300 on your next roof replacement. When you need a roof, you need Next Gen Roofing. Team with you, it's a win every time.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Ever have one of those mornings when you're trying to piece together the night before? Yeah, we've all been there. Now imagine that morning turned into a comedy. Morning After Grace is on stage starting April 9th at the Alhambra Theater and Dining. And it's smart, funny, and totally relatable. A night out that's equal parts laughs and insight. Get your tickets at alhambrajax.com. Alhambra Theater and Dining. Great food, great laughs, and a show you won't forget.
Find the middle of the fairway with your drives. Get the golf tips and talk to keep you straight.
That's a great tee shot.
On the Edwin Watts Golf Hour. The Edwin Watts Golf Hour. Saturday morning at 10 on 1010XL.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation? From a real person? Good luck. That is what's so nice about Mike Merritt's Heating and Air. Unlike publicly traded conglomerates with headquarters in faraway cities, Mike Merritt's Heating and Air remains family-owned and operated by Mike, your neighbor. Mike Merritt has delivered hometown service, integrity, and pricing for generations. The big guys incentivize their techs to sell you new equipment. Mike's team emphasizes repair first. We only sell you equipment if your current equipment is worn out and beyond repair. And let's be honest about price. Small operations without much overhead can sometimes lowball your job, but you can't trust just anyone with a truck. They may be here today and gone tomorrow. Mike Merritt has been keeping North Florida cool for more than 3 decades. That's experience and dedication you can count on. Call today or see us on the web.
Florida license number CAC 050384.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update brought to you by USA Park. Florida Gators center Ruben Chinilu has been awarded the Naismith Defensive Player of the Year award, first ever Gator to win it. This Saturday, the annual Orange and Blue Gators spring game returns to the airwaves of 1010XL at 12 p.m. for their first look at the team under Coach John Summerall. It's 63 degrees at 5 o'clock time and 10, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. 10
Take.
The 10-10 Take is brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter, plumbing, septic, and air conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck, duckduckrooter.com. North Carolina has signed Mike Malone as their new basketball coach, who used to coach in the NBA. Look, I understand that he's a really good basketball coach. He's got a ring in the NBA, and those are hard to get. Well, their football coach has got 6 of them. And the bottom line is he didn't do very well. I think you have to be very careful not to overthink stuff. There are so many college basketball has proven to be a game that you're a good coach in college basketball when you've been coaching college basketball. Old players don't work. See Jerry Stackhouse and Juwan Howard. NBA guys don't work. Or if you think about it, we've seen 1,000 of them that don't work. What works is go find yourself a Ben McCollum. Go find yourself a Todd Golden. Go find yourself a Dusty May. Go find yourself a guy that has learned how to do it by coaching in college. I understand the game has changed a little bit. I understand the paradigm has changed a bit. And now, because you're going and getting free agent players rather than recruits, you can get a guy with an NBA chops. I think this is a bad hire. I don't pretend to know a lot about him, and he'll probably win the national title next year, and I'll be the biggest dummy in town. He's a really good coach. I think it's an odd fit for college basketball, Hayes, and that's the 10-10 take.
Yeah, it's a very good one. Does the Joker come with him? Because otherwise it makes no sense to me. I mean, he was coaching one of the most versatile, skilled players that we've seen in association history. So, yeah, he won a world championship, but, I mean, he did it obviously with a team that was ridiculously talented. It strikes me as odd. I mean, again, Jeff Goodman tweeted, about an hour ago, and you're seeing some other guys kind of saying the same thing. It makes sense to me. North Carolina has a new athletic director. I think the guy panicked. I think the guy should have waited on Billy Donovan. Billy Donovan, right or wrong, didn't want to leave until the bowl season was over, even though they're not going anywhere. And apparently even they've fired their front office still. I can see Billy Donovan saying, look, I don't want to run into some of these players years from now and then, be upset that I left with 4 games left in the season. That wouldn't surprise me at all if that was how Donovan viewed it. North Carolina, the portal is open, and they, I think, panicked to make this hire. And I'm with you. I don't think it's if Todd Golden had left for Arizona, I would not be thrilled about this hire at Florida,
right?
Let alone North Carolina. So we'll see how he does. But I was surprised by it. I would have waited 3 or 4 more days and gotten Billy Donovan. I think it's a mistake.
JJ, where were you in 2001? 6th grade, 7th grade? 2001, where were you?
I was 12, 11, 12.
Yeah.
So whatever that is.
7th grade.
Yeah, 7th grade, maybe.
Ocala Middle School.
Howard Middle School.
Howard Middle School. Okay, so you were starting middle school, okay? That's the last time Mike Malone coached in college, okay? You were in middle. You were just starting middle school. Okay, where were you in 01, Carline? Okay,
drunk.
Well, you were in the 6th grade. You were drunk.
I was drunk too.
You were
started early.
I mean, he hasn't coached in college.
Don't you think though?
2001
college basketball has become so pro when it comes to player acquisition that it's probably not that crazy.
Well,
he's not going to be recruiting
I said
used
that,
to.
Yeah, and I said that in the take that it's changed now.
Mm-hmm.
Now you go get older free agents, which is what NBA guys do. I get that. I certainly think it's different than it was, and an NBA guy could fit more now than, to your point, and then I said that. But no, there's a reason nobody else is doing it. Sometimes you overthink. I don't care. I'm not a North Carolina fan. But, boy, sometimes you overthink. I said the same thing about Belichick, too, by the way. Sometimes you overthink stuff, and I think they've overthought this. And I don't know who the young coach is, but I got to believe there's a really good coach at SMU or wherever.
Well, Jeff Goodman's also reporting that they were trying to go after the Vanderbilt head coach.
He'd have been a good hire.
Billy doesn't.
He would have been a
So
great
his name
hire.
is Mark
Byington.
Yeah.
And obviously we got to see
Yeah.
them up close
He's a
twice
really good
against
coach.
Florida. He's a very
Now-
good coach.
now they re-upped
I would have
him.
loved to have seen North Carolina hire him out of the SEC.
And that's the coach. That's the type coach you hire. You go hire Mark Byington. You don't hire and listen. Maybe he'll turn out great. And the point is, it's a crapshoot. My point is, North Carolina shouldn't be taking a crapshoot.
Right.
North
I
Carolina.
didn't mind FSU hiring Luke Laux,
Right.
even though he didn't have experience
Right.
coaching college basketball because, he came from the NBA. But that's he's an
It's
alum.
Florida State.
And it's Florida State
Right.
basketball.
Not
not North Carolina basketball.
And Florida State, and again, they really like him. He may be
and
really
it looks
good.
like he's going to be good.
But Florida State needed to take a chance. You're
Right.
not a prominent ACC school. Financially, you're not where you want to be.
Right. If he's terrible over 3 years, you get rid of him, and no
Correct.
one really gets all that upset.
But you're not North Carolina.
Right.
And I
He
thought
was the best NBA candidate.
yeah,
I
correct.
mean, like, he by far. So
and everybody thought he'd win. And by the
I'm
way,
surprised that he is taking a college job. I think you
right.
guys are acting like this guy is like.
No.
He was the best NBA candidate.
No. I think he might be a fantastic coach. I just don't.
I think he's awful.
I hate him.
I just think.
I think he's a great X's and O's guy offensively.
I think it's a great risk for the bluest of blue bloods to take. Why would a school with that blue of blood take that much of a risk?
So do we think that Billy did he just wouldn't commit too early?
For me, and again,
because that's crazy. He wouldn't wait a week so you didn't hire him. Who cares?
In my opinion, and again, Jeff Goodman knows more than I do. I don't think Billy was ever going to be the coach at North Carolina. And that's a gut. That's a guess. I said that 2 weeks ago. I said 2 weeks ago. I don't see that. For whatever reason, I don't see that thing crystallizing. I just didn't feel he was going to. But again, I might be way wrong. To Hayes' point, Jeff Goodman might have said, "Listen, I'll come if you wait a week." And they might
we don't have a week.
Yeah. Now that would be an odd decision.
Yeah,
that'd be an odd decision to and by the way, maybe that's not the case. And Jeff Goodman, who might have predicted it, is saving face. You know what I mean. Sometimes if you say, "I'm sure it's Billy Donovan," it's not Billy Donovan. You go, "Well, it was going to be." So you don't.
I could see Billy.
I
could absolutely see Billy saying, "I'm going to finish out the season with these guys."
Yeah.
I'm going to finish out the season. Yeah. And look, if North Carolina doesn't want to hire me, that's fine. And if I get fired from the Bulls, I'll sit out a year, and then he's going to have his pick of Kansas, Kentucky,
that's right,
whatever opens next
or
offseason.
Even like the Magic or whatever. Like he could go to either one. Yeah. If you're Billy,
it'd be so hilarious if he ended up coaching the Magic.
The Magic, who are going to be looking for a new coach.
He almost did one time.
Exactly.
We're going to need you to sign that contract immediately, and also sign this contract that states you can't back out of the contract.
So, what was the exact? Like, he took it for a couple of days.
Yeah, it's like 3-4 days.
Okay. So here's the story. He took the job. Okay. It's a great story.
He had an introductory press conference in Orlando.
He accepted the job.
Crazy.
Jeremy Foley was flying to VCU to hire Anthony Grant as his head coach. Grant had been an assistant under Billy. He later became the Alabama coach, and he's the Dayton coach now. He was the coach at VCU. Jeremy was flying, and he's best friends with Billy, flying to Richmond, to VCU, to hire him. As the plane's landing, Donovan calls Jeremy. Says, "Jeremy, I made a horrible mistake. I don't want to leave."
Wow.
As the plane's landing, as Grant is there picking him up at the airport. You remember this? So Grant literally, Jeremy's getting off the plane. I assume by then Billy had also texted Anthony. They look at each other like, "Well, I guess we go to dinner or something. There's nothing to do here."
Wow.
Apologize. Everyone apologized to each other. Got back on the plane and went home. He was literally landing in Richmond to hire Anthony Grant. Isn't that an amazing story?
It is. And I remember Billy Donovan's final press conference at Florida and, in explaining it. And he looked like he was gutted.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like no one's forcing you to do this.
No one speculated that he would back out.
Right.
But in watching him say goodbye to Florida,
in hindsight,
it was like, wow, he is really emotional about this.
What year was that?
What would that have been?
Yeah. Anyway, but what? I don't remember what year, but it was
10, 9?
Somewhere in there. Somewhere after the 2 titles, before the 14 team, obviously. So
because he coached Calathis
and
Chandler
Parsons. Yeah, that's right. So anyway, so somewhere thereabouts, somewhere between the title in 07.
It was 2007.
So it was right after
Briefly hired in 2007 as coach for the Magic.
So after the title, after the second title. Interesting stuff.
Wow.
So all right, we'll take a break. Morning Moment. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Through thick and thin,
I love my Jaguars.
your home for Jaguars football
Forever and ever and ever.
is 1010XL.
And that concludes the Joe C. Jack of All Trades show. Tune in next week where I'll be installing my own French drain.
Joe, wake up, man.
Hey, John, I must have dozed off.
We finished those projects you started.
Whoa, my seamless gutters are actually seamless.
And they're connected into underground PVC drain lines.
And my sprinklers. Wow, look at that coverage.
Next time, just call me first, Joe.
I will, but I ain't singing that song.
Clear water irrigation
and drainage too.
Northeast Florida isn't just where we work, it's our home. I'm Chris Campione, and when an accident turns your life upside down, you need a law firm that truly understands this community. At Campione Law, we treat our clients like neighbors, not case numbers, and you don't pay a dime unless we recover for you. From semi-truck accidents to medical malpractice and even workers' compensation, we handle it all. Visit CampioneLaw.com. Offices, Jacksonville and St. Augustine. Count on Campione, Campione Law.
If you can't wait for kickoff, tip-off, or the first pitch, get your Gator fix anytime with a Gator podcast channel. Exclusive Florida Gator content from 1010XL. Set up by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists on the video and social channels of 1010XL.
Hey, it's Brent with Arcosa Crushed Concrete. If you've got concrete or asphalt rubble on your site, let me buy it from you, and I will recycle it into construction material for your future projects. Arcosa Crushed Concrete. Get paid for what you don't need.
Here's a health and wellness tip from Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville.
Here's a simple tip for shoulder health to improve your posture. Slouching can put extra stress on your shoulders, leading to pain and injury. Make sure your head is over your shoulders are relaxed and pulled back, and your spine is properly aligned. Whether you're sitting or standing, if you sit for long periods of time, make sure to get up and take breaks and work on pulling your shoulders back. Get up and get moving, Jacks, and go Jags.
Stay healthy with Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. By now, everyone has heard about saving money on their energy bills. There are all sorts of things you can do to cut energy costs, but most people don't think about their windows.
But Window World knows that the biggest energy loss in almost every home is the windows. There is more energy loss from old builder-grade windows than just about anything else in your home.
You can upgrade your heating and air, your appliances. That's good too. But before you do all that, upgrade your windows to Window World's energy-efficient windows.
Window World's windows are easy to clean, energy efficient, and have the best guarantee in the business.
Window World's slogan is simply the best for less, and we mean it. You get great American-made windows, and you get to keep more of your money when you buy from Window World. Need any more reasons to buy your windows from Window World? Call them today and set up your free in-home estimate, or go online to windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World, simply the best for less.
Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. When you need a trailer hitch, gooseneck, or RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We've been doing it for 55 years, and customer service is our #1 priority. Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
Frank Frangie here for Coil Fencing. Since 1927, Jacksonville has trusted Coil Fencing to protect what matters, and I trust them too. From tough chain link to your commercial project to sleek aluminum fencing your HOA will love, Coil does it all. Did you know that Coil can also install, service, and maintain those automatic gates that help protect your neighborhood or business? To schedule a complimentary consultation, visit coiljacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com. Coil Fencing, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
There's always a second chance at Best Bet Jacksonville. April 12th, brings you the $300 no-limit hold'em $30,000 guarantee at 2 p.m. Head to the Best Bet Jacksonville. It's on Monument Road. You can also go to St. Augustine right there on just off of 95, and of course in Orange Park on US 17. Head to the Best Bet today. Just saw news that Micah Handlockton is leaving Florida. He's in the portal now. He has not had his waiver approved yet. Micah gave up his redshirt year, as you all know, last year in the middle of the season to help Florida win the national title, which they did and would not have done without him. He was a great bench strength off the bench, and he gave it up. So kudos to him for doing so. And now he's applied for the hardship because he had such a brutal injury that cost him to lose the end of one season or the tournament one season and half of the next. And if he gets the waiver, he's going to be playing for another school. That really surprised me because Micah is really close to Golden, really close to the Florida people. Golden's the one that brought him there from Marshall. But it kind of tells. So I'm sorry. I'll always tip my cap to Micah Handlockton. Well, what a good Gator he was. What a team guy he was. He agreed to come back and help them win a national title. He sacrificed could be a whole year of college basketball if he doesn't get this waiver. So I'm a big Micah fan, and I applaud him. But he's leaving, and what that tells me is he wants to start, and they must think Chinyulu's coming back because he wasn't going to start ahead of Rue. And by the way, both Handlockton and Chinyulu are centers. Sometimes bigs you can play both spots. You can be the center. You can be the power forward.
Yeah, neither can play four.
Neither are the four. Those guys are both centers. So it tells me that Micah must have heard or must know, because if Chinyulu wasn't coming back, why leave? There's no point. And maybe he goes into the portal, Chinyulu shocks everybody and goes to the NBA, and then Micah comes back. But I've got to believe something like that is in play.
That's what I would think. I would think Handlockton reading the tea leaves. He knows. I mean, I think they're all coming back. And
now you've said that.
And I think it's going to come out Saturday at the spring game.
You do?
That's what I would guess, is that it comes out. I mean, that's the perfect time.
Yeah.
You're going to probably bring the basketball team out anyway. You're going to honor them in the fall as well. But it makes sense that you would bring them out for winning the SEC regular season title to be honored with whatever other teams, they want to honor as well. But, you bring them out and, it after the first quarter of the Orange and Blue game, you hand them a microphone and let them thank the fans. And then,
Thomas Houck.
Right.
I'm coming back,
exactly.
baby.
Yeah, just like his idol Tebow did. And so anyway, I think I would agree. I think Handlockton would be looking at, obviously, a 10-minute-a-game role, barring injury to somebody else. He's been a fantastic Gator. They do not win the national title
100%.
without Micah Handlockton and his sacrifice of his year to come and play those final 12 games of last season. So he will always be – he should never need to buy a drink in Gainesville or a meal for the rest of his life. And wherever he ends up, I hope he has tremendous success. But he is a starting player in Division I basketball, in high-level Division I basketball. Micah Handlockton should be playing 24 minutes a game for a reasonably good program. And so I always thought it was a complete luxury that Todd Golden was able to pull off the bench a 7'1" guy that can move as well as Handlockton can move and is a smart player. He didn't play particularly well. None of them did. In the Iowa game, but Micah Handlockton's a good player. He's a great Gator, and I would imagine that if he gets the waiver, he'll get paid a pretty good amount of money to go be somebody's starting center.
Yeah, in this day and age,
he's not going back to Marshall, a school like that. I mean, I think he's going to end up at a Texas A&M or Virginia. So I think he's going to go to a program that made the tournament this year.
Yeah, in this day and age, by the way. A 7'1" center who's won a national title and playing on a team that was back-to-back one seeds is going to get paid. I don't think there's any question about that. By the way, the portal opens tomorrow, right? I mean, you can announce you're going to it, but you can't really go to it till tomorrow, right? Isn't tomorrow the day?
But I saw that there's already like 1,000 entrants, like over 1,000 entrants.
The legal tampering window has begun.
Exactly.
Yeah, so but it'll be interesting to see.
There's talk that I don't know how legit this is, but there's speculation early on that Florida is very interested in the Georgia sharpshooter, that averaged like 17 points.
The left hand, the Wilkinson, they're their best player.
Yeah, so that'd be interesting.
Well, I'll say this: that's the kind of guy they got to get. Well, whether I don't know enough about. We know him because we saw him play at Georgia.
He's so much better than Xavier Lee. It's not even funny.
Yeah, but they've now got. They have to go get shooters. There's and it'll be, and look, if they get to 12 million, which the talk is the blue blood schools will spend 15 or 20 maybe. The medium tier schools will spend 6 to 8. And the Floridas and the good schools, the ones that are close are in that 10, 11 range. If they get 9, 10, 11, if they get to 12, 13 million, I can't imagine let's say those big guys do come back. You're a sharpshooter guy, and you got those big guys rebounding your misses. I would think you are about as attractive a place as anywhere to go play, wouldn't you think?
Absolutely, particularly with that system. Again, they've broken the program scoring record the last 3 seasons. So Todd Golden runs an offense that you're going to be scoring, 87.5 points a game is what they hit this past year. And you see the success of what Walter Clayton was able to do. And that it's a basketball team that has everything except the 2. And, so if that's your position, what a fantastic opportunity, particularly if you've been playing, at Georgia where, a great year is you're a 10 seed in the NCAA tournament and you get embarrassed in the first game. And, that's reason to throw a party in Athens. Right. If you want to actually play real basketball, then you have an opportunity to do so at an elite level.
Well, he's already said that.
I can't talk any smack in football. This is all I've got.
Well, he already left. So he's certainly going somewhere. I doubt he's leaving Georgia to go to Wofford. So you're right about that. So I pulled up the best guys in the transfer portal. Juke Harris from Wake Forest. Flory Bedunga from Kansas. He's leaving. Stefan Vax from Providence. He's leaving. Isaiah Johnson from Colorado. He's leaving. That's about all I got. So, it's not a bunch of guys right? You know the SEC guys.
I bet after the game tonight and like tomorrow morning, you're going to see a lot.
I wonder if you. So, it'll be interesting to see. But to your point, you have to go find shooters. You have to go find whatever you don't have. In a Florida case, that's shooters. So hopefully they'll go find shooters. We'll see. We'll take a break. We'll be back we'll be back for another segment after this. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Jaguars and Gators, pro, college, and high school sports. Wow! Get the most play-by-play on 1010XL, Jacksonville's play-by-play sports radio.
Frank Frangie here. I've been telling you about Stanley Pools for years. But my favorite thing about this family-owned company? They take such good care of my pool. All I have to do is relax and enjoy it. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and their weekly maintenance makes owning a pool effortless. You can trust Stanley Pools to build your pool or upgrade it. They've done both for me. Call 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
I'm Julie Harrell with Harrell & Harrell. Choosing a law firm after an accident is an important decision, so how do you decide? With so many messages on air, I know it can all sound the same. At Harrell & Harrell, we believe what sets us apart is our commitment to you. When you've been injured in an accident, you need help from someone you know, someone you can trust. Harrell & Harrell, a name you know, a name you can trust. 904-251-1111. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Offices, Jacksonville.
Frank Frangie here for Bono's Pit Barbecue. Bono's has been serving Jacksonville's best barbecue for over 75 years. And now, catch this. Bono's new limited time offer features an Atlantic fried cod platter with 2 pieces of mouth-watering fried cod and 1 southern side for $15.49, or a fried cod sandwich with 1 southern side for $12.99. You can't beat that deal. And after 1 bite, you'll be hooked. So you better hurry in. The fried cod platter right now at Bono's. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $5,000 per ounce, and silver is over $100 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold and silver for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out of pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Surf into Summer Surf Camp. Jacksonville and its beaches' #1 surf camp is now registering for camps this summer. For registration and session dates, go to surfintosummer.com. Surf into Summer, Jacksonville Beach's premier surf camp.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. Big Chief Tire makes getting new tires easier than ever with the Big Chief credit card. There's no annual fee, low monthly payments, and great promotional financing. Plus, you get free flat repairs and rotations, even $50 off your first purchase when you sign up. I love how simple they make everything at Big Chief Tire. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com to apply for the credit card and let Big Chief help you get back on the road with confidence.
Ticket here for Oceanside Cleaners, the very best in dry cleaning service. Free pickup and delivery, or use their self-service kiosk in Ponte Vedra and Southside for drop-off and pickup. Dry cleaning, laundry, bedding, and bridal gown preservation. If it's got fabric, they can clean it. Oceanside Cleaners.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the Monahans' golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
All right, good show today. A lot of fun stuff to talk about. I think what I enjoyed the most, though, was talking about Travon Walker. And the golden moment was what's his ceiling? How good can he be? How excited I think Jaguar people are around him. And good for the Jags for making that happen. Travon Walker going to be here for a long, long time. That is the golden moment. By the way, I do want to reach out to our one poster who posts sometimes, Swamp Lizard 34, if you're listening. He said, Frank and Hayes, you guys need to turn in your Gator fan cards. Billy Donovan left after the 2015 season, not 2007. You're both fired. It's moments like this that you have to coach listening skills, okay? So without going any deeper into it, Swamp Lizard, here's what you can do.
It's always tough when you come in the middle of a sentence.
Here's what you can do. The show is on demand. My recommendation to you would be go listen to the whole thing.
Yes.
Apologies not necessary.
Yeah.
Just go listen to the whole thing.
You may find the experience magical.
You might find it magical. Indeed. Tonight, what's going to happen, JJ? Who's going to Bono's tomorrow? Is it you? Are you going?
I am, because the guy who I have is like a power forward, I guess. He doesn't have the ball in his hands a lot. He's like a 13-point a guy night. And meanwhile, your guy Reed was phenomenal in the game against Illinois. So I could see him putting up a lot more points than my guy. I could still see Michigan winning, but my guy losing.
And
then Hayes, sorry to cut you off, but him having two guys, it's a wrap.
Hayes is going to be okay.
Yeah.
If the guy actually plays.
Your guy's playing.
Yeah.
Quit whining. Your guy's playing. Now I'll whine. I think I'm going to Bono's.
No.
Really?
Because I think Michigan's front line is so good that Reed can't shoot jumpers.
No.
He's got to score inside, and I think it's hard for big guys. I mean,
that's a good point.
Koa Pete wound up with 16 points, but he was like 5 for 19
garbage time point.
But he's a true freshman. Reed's a senior.
Correct. Good point. But it's just so hard to score inside against those Michigan guys. So JJ, we're both pathetic losers. We're both so convinced.
really are.
We're both convinced we're going to lose. But that is so bad. But the
it was the first college basketball games I've watched like in full in a long time. And I was really pissed off. I was like, I know this sport's better than this. I know it's got to be because the offenses were just like, man.
Yeah, it really ended up being two kind of disappointing games for considering the lines were so close.
The first one's a rock fight. And the second one was kind of I told Hayes this story earlier, JJ. My poor wife. I got the best wife ever, but she's not a big sports fan. So she comes in, and at one moment I'm cheering for one team, then I'm cheering for this. She goes, "Who are you for?" I said, "It's a long story."
I'm for my team.
That's right. Yeah, it's a long story. You have to kind of.
I've got guys on both.
Looking forward to on Thursday. The Jags are going to have the media. It's an annual thing. We all get to kind of hang around. I haven't been down there for a while, but Liam Cohen and James Gladstone are going to meet with members of the media and discuss, among other things, the draft, or just about the draft, but among other things, kind of where they are in the draft. I'll be interested to see, again, because I'll say nobody shows their hand, but these guys are pretty transparent, other than showing your hand, which you shouldn't do strategically. You know what I mean? I mean, they're pretty good. So I'm very intrigued to see where their head is this year, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be very interesting to hear what they have to say, and I'm looking forward to it. So should be fun.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be really fun to see where they are. We didn't get to it today. We will during the week. The Florida spring game is at noon. Is it on TV? It'll be right here on the radio station.
I don't think
you'll hear it here on 1010XL.
I don't think they've announced it yet. The only thing I can think of is that they really are delaying. I can't imagine it's not going to be on TV. But I am thinking maybe Florida is deliberately delaying that announcement to try and get as many people planning to go.
I don't think it's on SEC. If it's on TV, I'm guessing it's going to be on Plus.
That's what the internet is saying. So they, like Hayes said, there's nothing official yet, but the Google's is saying it's expected to be ESPN Plus or SEC Network Plus.
Yeah, so it'll be they'll record it. You can watch it streaming, and then at some point you can watch it on the network. But my guess is it'll be available.
I would think. I mean, Summerall's been so media friendly that it just doesn't make sense with the portal window not existing post spring anymore.
Right?
Why wouldn't you want it to be televised?
Yeah, you would certainly think so.
But I'm sure they're trying to get as many people there as they can possibly get.
You would think, yes.
But hope,
especially with the Thomas Houck announcement coming.
Exactly.
See that? Maybe they should tell people, hey, there
might be a special
how about this?
Coming.
There may be an announcement coming, but he's only going to make it if a lot of people come.
Right. If there's not 65,000,
he's going to the NBA.
Then he's going.
Oh, but it will be fun. But having said that, whether you go watch TV, what are you hoping to see?
Well, I mean, obviously with Florida, it's got to start with quarterbacks Philo and Jones, and just seeing whatever Faulkner decides to show. Hopefully it looks like a professional endeavor, unlike the spring game where Billy Napier let his 12-year-old new defensive coordinator call every Buddy Ryan blitz in the playbook, and both offenses managed about 35 total yards in the scrimmage because we had zone busters and corner blitzes coming on in scrimmages. But hopefully I just want to see Philo and Jones look comfortable, look accurate, on time. Obviously, you want to see those receivers. I don't need to see Jaden Bogg get a carry. I don't need to see Miles Graham make a tackle. But, I'd like to see you might like to see Jaden Woods flash once or twice. But I'm fine if they put him in bubble wrap. To me, it's all about the quarterbacks.
That's really what
it is. And just the operation. Does it look like, an actual college staff is in control of the Gators?
Yeah, and by the way, you just said it. It's about the quarterbacks. I mean, and the receivers. That's what it's about. It's not really about the running backs because no one's really hitting. They'll be hit some. I mean, he said they're going to tackle. He told me on that interview they're going to tackle, but you know what they got at running back. You can't. I still don't know. You can tell a lot about the lines because if your offensive line's good, does that mean your defensive line's bad and blah blah blah? You're playing each other, but you can tell if your quarterback can pitch it and you guys can pitch it and catch it. The one thing you can tell is if the quarterback can throw it and it's a route.
What was that spring game like in 90?
And here in Jacksonville, do you know that?
I forgot.
So Florida had an artificial turf field. Okay, there's a great story. So Florida's got an artificial turf field, And Steve Spurrier said when he took the job, we're playing on grass. They had a turf all those years since the mid '70s. They said we're not going to play on turf. We're going so they tore up the turf to put grass in. So he got the job in December 31st. So the field wasn't available. So they allowed him to play it here in Jacksonville. They played it in the spring game. And at the time, Donald Douglas had been the starting quarterback in '89. Kyle Morris had played a little bit. Lex Smith, who later became a defensive end, had played a little bit. And they had a skinny sophomore named Shane Matthews who had never played. And they said, but Spurrier said, everybody gets a chance. Everybody gets a chance here. They played here in the Gator Bowl. This skinny sophomore from Pascagoula, Mississippi, named Shane Matthews, threw 3 touchdown passes and no picks. And the rest is history. He won the job.
That's amazing.
He won the job here in Jacksonville. It's a great story. He won the job here in Jacksonville. And by the way, he finished his career in Jacksonville, if you count that game, 11 touchdowns, no picks.
Wow.
You realize that?
How about that?
Now, he played all 3 years against Florida. Even in '92, when the team wasn't as good, he was very good in that game. So they won the game. So there you go. We'll take a break. We'll wrap the program after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
NBA Dallas Mavericks Cooper Flagg, now the betting favorite to win Rookie of the Year, surpassing Con Knuppel in the last few games. Had 51 in their win against Orlando and 45 in their victory over the weekend against the Lakers. Flagg is minus 210 to take home the Rookie of the Year honors. Knuppel is plus 150. As far as the MVP award, Oklahoma City's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the overwhelming favorite to take home the honor for the second straight year. He's minus 2,500. Victor Wembanyama of the Spurs plus 1,000. Wembanyama is minus 10,000 to win the Defensive Player of the Year award.
Progressive helping veterans drive their lives forward. More info, keysofprogress.com.
I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1010XL.
Florida Heat doesn't play games, but some AC companies do. You've heard the Too Good to Be True ads. Let's be honest. Nobody sends a licensed AC technician to your house for $25. Suddenly, your cheap tune-up turns into a $1,000 problem. At Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning, we believe in taking care of our customers. Right now, you can chill out for just $99. That gets you a full AC diagnostic and the truth about your system. No scare tactics. Call 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Yo, E.T. here, and you know that on the field, preparation wins championships, right? Well, the same goes for your health. Right here in my side of town in Fleming Island, Encore Research Group is helping locals take charge through cutting-edge research studies. Everything from weight loss to diabetes and hypertension. Their team of local, multi-specialty doctors is focused on advancing medicine and keeping our community healthy. If you want to see if you qualify, check them out at encoredocs.com.
Get ready for spring turkey season at Green Acres Sporting Goods. Find shotguns trusted in the field from Browning, Beretta, and Benelli. Plus, the newest bows are ready to test shoot from Hoyt and Matthews. For over 55 years, Green Acres Sporting Goods has helped Northeast Florida hunters gear up with confidence. Stop by Green Acres today at the corner of Normandy and Hammond Boulevard or shop online anytime at greenacresporting.com.
This is Frank Frangie for the farm in Okefenokee. Can you imagine owning a handcrafted cabin tucked into a 1,000-acre regenerative farm? Imagine enjoying fresh produce from the garden, fruit from the orchard, meats from the smokehouse. Every meal is a true farm-to-table experience all year long. Belong to a place where your family can choose nature over screens, spending their days feeding animals, picking berries, and fishing in the farm's pond. Learn more at okefarm.com. That's okefarm.com.
At G&H Tires and Service, the G stands for great pricing. And the H, well, that means honest service. For over 20 years, Roger and his team have helped Jacksonville drivers stay safe on the road. Need brakes? Oil change? AC not blowing cold? Well, how about a super affordable $36 oil change? Affordable brake jobs, AC checks before summer hits, alignments for all these construction roads, and even free check engine light inspections. Locally owned, community driven. G&H Tires and Service on Beach Boulevard.
Frank Frangie here for Coil Fencing. Since 1927, Jacksonville has trusted Coil Fencing to protect what matters. And I trust them too. From tough chain link to your commercial project to sleek aluminum fencing your HOA will love, Coil does it all. Did you know that Coil can also install, service, and maintain those automatic gates that help protect your neighborhood or business? To schedule a complimentary consultation, visit CoilJacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com. Coil Fencing, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a warehouse operations manager.
Where are the forklifts?
Sold them. Too expensive. We're using scooters now.
So you expect us to move a 2-ton pallet on a scooter?
Just lean into it. Put your back into it, people.
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
We sure appreciate our friends from the Best Bet. Always a Best Bet Monday around here. The Best Bet $100,000 guarantee final day happens on the 12th of April. That's coming up this Sunday. Best Bet Jacksonville catch the live action on Best Bet Live. Rick Ballew's coming in here, but as we wait on Rick, let me just tell you this. I think the Orioles are a pretty good team, JJ. I think the Orioles will be good. They got Pete Alonso.
They were disappointing last year, but they should be. They have a good roster. Yeah.
So I think they're going to be good. But they came to Pittsburgh and got that ass beat
really
3 times.
did.
Just so you know, in case you're wondering what happened, Hayes, over the
I
weekend.
saw it was the first time they've swept. Now, granted, I get interleague and all
we
that,
don't sweep anybody.
But it was the first time. Did
Okay.
you see how long it's been? It was like the last time the Pirates swept the Orioles was like 1893.
Is that right? I didn't know that. Well, I don't know if we swept them in 71 or 79, but we hoisted the trophy. Rick Ballew knows that. Okay, I'll tell you that. Let's say a little Rick Ballew.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Just swept the Orioles, Rick. Just swept them.
I could probably name that 79 team with Nicosia.
Yeah.
Part of the battery.
He was one of the 2 catchers.
Sanguian, right?
No, he
Pena?
No, the Ed Ott was the other catcher.
Ed ought to be good.
That was the Ed Ott.
Yes,
Ed Ott was the left-handed hitting kid. But you know what? Steve Nicosia was the right-handed kid. I'll give you that. That's not nice work by the very center fielder. Oh, that inspires you.
Omar Moreno.
Look at you. I couldn't slip that
Al
by.
Oliver.
Al Oliver
Dave Parker.
Al Oliver was not on the team. Dave Parker was.
Rennie Stennett, second base, or Tim Foley, or
Tim Foley.
Phil Gardner,
See,
maybe?
You know what you're doing? You're mixing eras.
Yeah.
But it was Garner and Foley in the middle. Madlock
at third.
There you go. Okay. Who?
First base, Easler?
No, it was Willie.
It was
Starker
Willie.
with
Of
it.
course, we are family.
But you did very. But you know
Wake
what?
up, Baloo.
You did pretty well.
Here you are bringing in the hit dog, Mike Easler. You don't even bring one of the greatest power hitters of all time, and Willie Stargell. It's a good thing I'm talking hoops tonight.
Mike Easler was on the team though, so there you go. So what'd you make of the first 2 games of the Final Four?
Kind of went, the way that I thought. Something scary about UConn tonight. It really is. I mean, they're so well coached, and they just find ways to beat you. Regardless of what you offer up. And Michigan, their best player may not be able to give it a go. And if he's a matchup nightmare, they really don't have a guy who can play with him. If he can't play, I think we could have another major upset. And think,
wow,
Danny Hurley winning 3 titles in 4 years.
How about just being in 3 title games in 4 years? I mean, it's pretty amazing stuff.
I mean, I thought Jim Calhoun, he totally, changed the entire way of thinking of college basketball at Connecticut, going back 25, 30 years ago. But, I mean, to do what Danny Hurley's doing, if I had to pick, I would say Michigan. I mean, they're a touchdown favorite, so it's tough to go against them. But I think we're going to have an exciting game tonight. Illinois made a little bit of a comeback against Connecticut, but for the most part, those 2 games were put away pretty early by both teams.
Let's hope it's a good one. Let's hope we have something to watch. What's coming up tonight?
We got all that. We got the very latest on the certainly the Masters. We'll get into the Dexter Lawrence situation a great deal. Plus, my buddy, attorney Rick Alexander, is going to pop in and, let's get into what President Trump did on Friday. Can you really change the ways of college football, college basketball, get it back to the way it was before the NIL, or is this a foolish pipe dream? So we'll investigate.
All right, we'll see. Rick Bullock goes into the night. That comes up right now. We're out of here. We'll see you tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel. For Hayes and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.
It's the Ride